Hello everyone, welcome back to Gipsyrosepaperie. Today we're doing another journal with me, and there will be another video that will show the entirety of this journaling process with just sounds, paper sounds, and some chill music. If that's your thing, I figured I could be like your crafting buddy and you can just put play and I will be there with you while you craft. So be sure to check that out. I will link it down in the description. So I had no plan when starting this journaling session, and you'll see that if you watch the full video, but I'm just sorting through some papers here, and I think a plan started to formulate when I found this little wolf picture that I'm very haphazardly breaking apart with my fingers. But I think that's when the idea of this journaling session started to brew. But as far as picking out papers and knowing exactly what I was looking for, I had a very rough idea at this point that I wanted to journal about self-criticism, which is what the title of the video is. And again, I will be discussing assigning emotion and thought and feeling into your journaling. So if that's something you enjoy, let me know and I'll keep right on making these videos. But right now I'm just picking out papers. Some of the ephemera I was going through was from friends, so here's a little piece that a friend made me, Lucia, and I'm just making sure it stays safe in my book. And then we're gonna get started with our journaling session. So because we're working with a really blank canvas here, I decided to pick this napkin because it's pretty busy, and I knew that I wanted a busy background, I think, at this point, because I was planning to glue a lot of stuff on top of it, and so I wanted every square inch of this background to be interesting so that whatever did poke through, it would be part of that story. So I'm just lightly decoupaging and then I'm ripping the edges because I just think that things look more organic and interesting when you use your fingers to tear stuff. That's just my preference. And so here was when I think finalized that idea that I wanted to journal about self-criticism. I cut out the word cacophony from that dictionary page, and I remember when I saw it, it just triggered this idea of your inner critic just going crazy in your head and saying things that are very nice or very positive or very helpful even. So I think that this is where it took a turn, is where I decided, okay, this is definitely what I'm going to journal about. So you'll see here that even though I had this sort of concrete idea, I still kind of struggle with placements and choosing paper. And so I like to use my glue stick and just lightly glue the back of the paper so they kind of stay in place. But that guy right there, my inner critic, if you will, that's who I use to represent that inner critic. He keeps just doing what he wants, and you'll see that multiple times throughout the spread. At this point in the journaling spread, I also start to really think about balance, what looks balanced, what's pleasing to the eye, while still keeping in mind the original journaling concept. And you'll see that I'm kind of fidget around with paper and move paper around and all kinds of stuff, and that's just part of it. I really encourage you guys to just play and just not take it too seriously. You can have an initial idea, but you can also play around with placements and all that. And then here I found this paper that had these crystals or suns, and I wanted to make them look more like eyes, so I'm just cutting those out right now. I'm also someone who doesn't like to glue as they go or permanently glue down. I like to place it, see what it looks like, sort of take like a little mental picture of what it looks like, and then try to recreate that with, you know, the good glue so that everything sticks down nice and secure. So you'll see that even though I had placed it in a certain way, it's gonna look different because my mental picture of it isn't like 100% accurate or clear of the initial placement, but it still works for me, this process, and it might not work for you, but again, I encourage you to try different techniques and do what feels right to you. And sometimes I just choose different paper because I don't really like the other paper that I chose, or I just don't remember, like this little piece here was vertical before and it threw me off when I chose a new paper, so I just put it in horizontally. No big deal. This is what art is. We change things last minute and just go with the flow. And I find that I struggle more when I don't like pre-map out what I want the journal to look like. So here you'll see that I had this snake paper and I wasn't quite sure how to incorporate that. So I went ahead and I fussy cut them out. But even then, you'll see that I'm still sort of struggling with where to put them or how to make them meaningful and cohesive to this piece. While I finished cutting the last few bits here and gluing them down, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of self-criticism and how I assigned that to this journaling spread. So when I found that woof initially, I can appreciate it for its beauty, but do I see its daily struggles as it goes through life? I don't. And so for some reason that made me think of self-criticism, in that we often see, especially on social media, the highlight reels of everybody's life, or everybody that we follow, everybody that we look up to, everybody that is maybe even in our family circle or friend circle. We don't get to see the behind the scenes to show the struggles that it took to get to these moments that you're witnessing, these beautiful moments. So it just made me think that we often see those highlight reels and then think that we are not enough, or that our lives are not enough, or that we don't do enough. So I put the guy at the other side to show that he's my self-critic, and he's looking down at that wolf, seeing his highlight reel, the wolf's highlight reel. So that is what this piece represents for me, and I hope that is helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. And I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.